CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Now the news. I'm Shane Bigham. Chinese central authorities have decided to convene a plenary session of the 19th Communist Party of China's Central Committee on October 9th in Beijing. General Secretary Xi Jinping of the CPC Central Committee presided over the meeting where the decision was made. The Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee will propose the convening of the 20th CPC National Congress for October 16th in Beijing. Every 5 years, the party holds a key congress which bears crucial significance to China's future. It takes stock of the party's work, major achievements, and experiences. This year, a new CPC Central Committee and a new Central Commission for Discipline Inspection will be elected at the Congress. China's urged the United States to return billions of frozen funds to Afghanistan. Commenting on a CGTN survey, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said the polls reflect the view of the Afghan people, as 80% of the 3,000 respondents believe the 20-year U.S.-led war in Afghanistan was a complete failure. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian says the U.S. should be responsible for the current situation in Afghanistan.
According to recent figures from the UN Humanitarian Affairs Office, 25 million Afghans are trapped in poverty. As of June 15th this year, at least 59% of the population were in need of aid. That number is up 6 million from the beginning of 2021. The United States is to blame for all of this. It should seriously respond to the strong calls of the Afghan people and the international community and immediately return the assets of Afghanistan's central bank.
Tuesday marks the first anniversary of the U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. Prominent Iraqi Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr has called on his followers to end their protests and withdraw from the Green Zone in Baghdad. After his speech, the Iraqi Joint Operations Command said it decided to lift the curfew in Baghdad and the provinces. 4 rockets were fired on the heavily fortified Green Zone overnight after al-Sadr resigned from politics on Monday, sparking protests by his supporters. The ensuing clashes left over 20 people dead and more than 200 others were injured. 2 Chinese Y-20 military aircraft have delivered 3,000 tents and other relief supplies to Pakistan as part of China's humanitarian aid to help those displaced by flooding and monsoon rains. China's already sent thousands of tents, blankets, and waterproof tarps to Pakistan. The Chinese government says it will also provide additional humanitarian aid to help in Pakistan's flood rescue and relief efforts. The Pakistani climate minister has warned that the country is facing a national security disaster after unprecedented deadly monsoon rains. Sherry Raymond says a third of Pakistan's underwater, with about 33 million affected by widespread flooding, making it difficult to deliver aid.
I think after 8 weeks of unrelenting monsoon torrential downpours, we now have the river Indus from the Kabul side bursting forth, and we have a perfect storm between the north and the south. Our helicopters are having trouble finding dry land in the south, in Balochistan, for instance, as to where to drop goods.
The heavy rains are the latest in a series of catastrophes that Raymond says are exacerbated by climate change, including heat waves and forest fires. Pakistan's National Disaster Management Authority says floods this summer have killed more than 1,100 people and injured over 1,600 others. The authority says nearly 500,000 displaced persons are housed in relief camps as the floods have damaged over 1 million homes. The Philippines Health Department says it's recorded 400 deaths from dengue fever this year. The country has reported over 110,000 cases of the disease from January to mid-August. The central Luzon region recorded the highest number with over 21,000 cases. Dengue is endemic in the Philippines. Waterborne infectious diseases, including dengue, usually peak at the start of the rainy season from July to October. Italy's National Pavilion is set to debut at the 2022 China International Fair for Trade and Services, slated to open on Wednesday. This is the first time that Italy will form a delegation in the name of the country for the event. The Italian companies participating in the fair cover manufacturing, research and development, food services, industrial design, and more. Espanyol winger Matias Vargas has completed his move to Shanghai Port. The Chinese Super League club says the arrival of Vargas will further help increase the team's firepower up front. The club earlier signed Chinese international Wu Lei, who's also a former Espanyol teammate of the Argentinian player. Vargas joined Espanyol in 2019 before being loaned to a Turkish club in 2021. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigham.